Welcome back to the channel, Sudoku people. I hope it's that time of day where you deserve a little break from whatever it is you're doing. So take a few minutes, get a cup of your favorite caffeinated beverage and join me. We've got a nice looking 3 out of 10 Sudoku. So let's jump into it and see how we can solve it together. Okay, so as ever, let's start by having a look at this and seeing where we can find some clues. See where we can find those cages that can only have one combination in, and then we'll move on to looking for particular numbers. So 4, always a giveaway, can only be 1 and 3. 16 can only be 7 and 9. Couple of little starter clues for us there. There's another 3 here, can only be 1 and 2. There's not an awful lot of others I can see. There's a 23 here. This can only be 6, 8, 9. That's a nice one. I often miss 1 or 2 of these and then find them later, so you may see some that I've missed. Can't see any more right now, but I can see a few places where we can start to get actual numbers. So look here. If we add these cells together, the ones highlighted in pink, you can see we've got 2 complete columns and then 1 cell sticking out. So that cell sticking out must be the difference between 90, which is the total of the 2 complete columns, and whatever the sum of all of these cells is, which, as you can see, the website's help is 95. So that makes this cell a 5. So we can automatically remove any of these combinations that don't have a 5 in them, which is nice, brings us down to 3 already. Now, notice that this Sudoku is symmetrical, it's reflected around this center column, so we can automatically do the same trick here, just on the other side, and you can see here sum is 99, which makes this cell a 9. So again, we can remove any combinations that don't have 9 in. There's a few more there. The other one I can see quickly is here, look. If we add all of these together, we've got 4 complete rows, which would be 180, 45 times 4, and the total of all these is 183, making this cell a 3. So we can eliminate the couple here for this cage that don't have 3 in them already, and that's where we come up to right now. So let's start having a look at a few other cells. So let's start here, right, because we've already got a 7 and 9, and we've also got a 1, 3, 5 impacting on this cage. So let's start here. So can't be 1 and 9 because we've got 7 and 9 already in that square. It can't be a 3, 7, thanks to that 1, 3. So we're down here to 2, 8 or 4, 6, but we can't narrow it any further at the moment. Here we can remove 7s and 9s. Can also look like this. So you see this, those cells add up to 38, meaning it's a 7 difference from where we want to get to 45. So if this is a 1, this has to be a 6, and if that's a 3, this has to be a 4. So we can put 6, 4 in there. And then we can eliminate any options here that don't contain either 6 or 4. 6 and 4, 4, 6, and nothing. We can also eliminate, because now this pair here that we need to finish off that 3 cage is actually in this square. We can also eliminate 5s, look, because there's a 5 already in there. So got a 4, 6 in here. And that's really nice because look, 2, 8, 4, 6. If this was 4, 6 in this cage here, neither of these could exist. Neither of these will be valid, and that will be impossible. So this has to be a 2, 8. So that gives us a little bit more progress. And if that's a 2, 8, then let's eliminate 2s and 8s from here. Okay, and look, so we still can't quite finalize this because we've got 3, 4, 5, 1, 5, 6. And whichever one it is, obviously there's a 5 in there somewhere, but it depends on what these turn out to be. So whichever ones aren't in here will end up in this cage. Okay, Let's have a look for what we can find next. So there's a few little points that look a little, not sure if this will amount to anything, but let's see. Probably won't, but these are ones that are always worth trying, because sometimes you can find something. So those 3 cells sticking out have to add up to 159 minus 135. So that's nice, actually. That's 24. So the difference between this and 135, which would be the 3 complete rows, is 24. So these 3 cells have to add up to 24, which is actually really nice, because there's only one way of making 24, which is 7, 8, 9. And actually, we can already start to fill numbers in, because look, for this 10 cage, you can't have an 8 or a 9. It's just impossible to make 10 with 3 numbers, including an 8 or a 9. So we can take 8 and 9 out of there. So that's a 7. And we can take 7s out of here. Means we can eliminate anything with 7 from this cage. We've also not looked down here yet. We can eliminate 6s and 8s because we've got a 6, 8, 9 in here. So we've just got 2 options left there. Now we've got that 7. Let's just look at what these 2 cells must add up to. So 62 for all of these. Take the 7 off, makes 55. So these 2 would have to add up to 10 eventually, which isn't super helpful, but we'll maybe come back to that a bit later. How about this? 62, again, not super helpful, so they'd have to add up to, I guess, 8 or 9, depending on the content of that cell there. Okay, so that's got either an 8 or 9 in it, so we can eliminate any that don't have 8 or 9 in, which is those 2. We can also eliminate the 3. Still got a few options there. Doesn't help a lot. We can get rid of the 2, 3, 8, because the 2 and the 8 being in that cage would invalidate that 2, 8. What else can we see? In this column, okay, so there's 8s here, so we can resolve that to a 9, and we can resolve this to an 8. From memory, that means that those 2 have to add up to 9. No, to 8, I think. 62 minus 9, 53. So these have to be an 8. Can't be 1, 7, or 2, 6. So they're going to have to be a 3, 5 pair. What does this 8 give us? We can take anything with 8 in it out. But there's no 3 or 5. We can take 3s and 5s out of here. 1, 7, 2, 6. Take a 5 out of there. What about these? 9. That's got to have a 9 in it with either a 3 or a 5, so it can be either of those 2. That can become a 4 or a 6. Here we've got to have a 3 or 5 in it, so we can eliminate these. Can't have a 9 in it with that. Can't have an 8 in it, thanks to here. Going to have a 7 in, because 7's missing, so it's either 4, 7, a 9 somewhere in here. What about this? We can take 5, 8 out. Can't take anything else quite yet. Where are we with that one again? 62, 55, so that's got to be 10. Not got these two to help limit it yet. What are we missing? 1, 2, 3. So this is, yeah, 4, 6, 7 in there. Okay, if that's 4, 6, 7 in there, we can start taking out 4s, 6s, and 7s. Okay, 2, 3, 5. Maybe I should have seen that a bit sooner. I think my brain's a bit slow this morning. 2s, 3s, 3s, 5s, 4s and 6s, making this a 189. What are we looking at with that one? Okay, so we can take out 269 because there's a 9 in that square now. So we're looking at 38 or 47 in there. So that combination couldn't be that because it would eliminate, is it 3? No, it's not. It could be 6, 7 as well, depending on where the 4, 6 lies. Ah, I'm being lazy. There you go. There's a 1, 2 in here because there's only one way of making 10 with a 7 in. So we can clean up a little bit. 7's out of here. Here we can clean up a little bit because in a 3 cell, if you have 2 numbers blocked by 2 of the numbers that would be in a combination, then you can't have them both in the other cell, for example. So we've got 9 and 7 in this column. So 9 and 7 can't exist in there. 9 and 7 can't exist in there either together, so 2, 7, 9 is impossible. We can also say that so 6, 7, 8 and 9 are all blocked in that way, so any combination of those. So 7, 8 can't exist, 6, 8 can't exist because they're here, 6, 7 block it as well, and 8, 9 are blocked, and 6, 9 are blocked, which is nice. So here we go, 4, 5, 9. So that's a 9, and that's a 4, 5. And that's going to help because we put a 1, 3, 7 in here. It's the only combination left. That can't be a 1, and that can't be a 2. And that will quickly give us a 2, 4 up here because the 1 invalidates the 1, 5 combination. Here we're going to get, let's see, 4, 5 is impossible. Okay, so 3, 6, 1, 8 looked like the 2 combinations for these 2 9 cages. We'll see which way around they go in a moment. Now that we put the 9 in here, we can take 9s out of possible combinations for this, making this a 4, 7, 8. And then here, we've now got 1 and 7 in this cage, so we can fill in a 2, 6. And we've got a 2 here, so that's a 6 and a 2. So let's do some cleaning. That makes that a 4, which therefore makes this a 5, makes that a 3. Can't put a 4 in here. What else can we do? We've got a 5 here. So that can't be a 5, they can't be 3s. We've got a 1 and a 3 in this row, so that can't be a 1 and 3. It makes it a 7. Take a 7 out of that. Here we've got 4s, so we can take 4 out of there and make that a 5, 4. That 5 gives us a 2 here and a 5 there. This 3 cleans up those 2 for us. These 7s in here. That can't be a 7. Now then, we've got 8s in here, look. So neither that nor that can be an 8. Also, there's a 6 here, so that can't be a 6. That's a 9. So we can take 9 out of there. This 9 now gives us a 1 here, and we can take the 1 out of there. This 9 gives us an 8 here and a 9 here. This 8 now comes back across. That's a 6 and an 8. And lastly, we've got an 8 here. So suddenly we've resolved pretty much the whole of the bottom 3 squares, which is nice. Now let's start moving upwards. So this one here, we've already eliminated 8 in this cage. We can now eliminate 9. So this makes this a 6, 7. We'll put it in a 7, 6 like that because of that. Here now we can take 6, 7 out because we just put it in the cage it's alongside, and we can take 4, 9 out, making this a 5, 8. We've already got an 8 in this cage, so it's 5, 8 in that order. Can't quite get that one yet. But look, here's nice. 7 and 8 resolves that, so that can't be that has to be a 4. Take 4 out of these, making that a 7, making that an 8. Now, in this column, we're now missing 2 and 3, so we can pop 2 and 3 in there. Can't get anything there yet, but we will. Look, there's a 3 already in this T-shaped cage, so that can't be a 3, and that has to be a 3. So here we've got 2, 3, so we can get rid of the 1 combination. Here we can get rid of anything that doesn't have 3 in it. So we can get rid of these. So we're left with 2 options. At the moment we can't tell quite between them, but we will in a bit. 2 here helps us with that. Here we can, no, we can't. Let's have a look down here. Is there anything else we can do? Don't think so there. With that was, those 2 cells have to be 11. Still, can't be 2, 9, 3, 8, 4, 7. Okay, so they've got to be 5, 6. Yep. Look, 34 difference for these 2 cells is 11, so these 2 have to add up to 11. Within that 9 by 9, you've already got a 2 and a 4. Let's look at it this way. You need 11 out of 2. These are your combinations. So we can't have a 2 or a 4 in there, so we can take those out. Can't have a 3, 8 thanks to that 8. So that makes these 2 5, 6. There's a 5 already here, so that can't be 5. That can't be 6. Making this a 6, 3. And making this a 1, 8. Yep. Okay, so here we can now take out 2s, 4s, and we can take out that 8, making this a 3, 7, 9. We've already got a 9 here, look, blocking those 2, so that has to be a 9. Got a 3, 7, 3 in that order. Okay. There's a 5 in here, so let's look at what's got a 5 in. Can't have a 3, 7, 9. 3 and 9 can be taken out. Nothing else quite yet, but we're nearly there. That's either a 4, 6 or a 2, 8. At the moment both are valid, but not for long. Here we can look. Now we've got a 9. We can take that 9 out. So this is a 4, 6 combination. We've got a 6 there. So it's actually 6, 4 like that. That means we can now resolve this one. That's now a 4, 9, but we've got a 4 in this square, so that's 9, 4, like so. Now what's missing here? In this whole square, we're missing a 1. We've got a 2, 3, 4. We're missing a 5. We've got a 6. We're missing a 7. So that's 1, 5, 7. And in this square, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 9. That's a 9 in there. Now look, we've got a 7 in this column. So we can knock 7 out of there, making that a 1, 5 pair. The 1, 5 can't exist there. Got a 5 here, so we can resolve that. This 1 helps us resolve the 1, 3 pair. Look, 6 now helps us resolve this long-standing mystery. That's a 4. This 9 helps us resolve that. And this 4 we've just put in comes back across here and resolves those 2. And then this 8 resolves that pair. So this 4 is now paired with a 6, 7. And there's a 7 here, look, so that's 6, 7 in that order. What are we missing? In this cage it's 1, 5, 6. There's a 6 here. 6 goes in there. There's a 1 in the first column, so it's 5, 1 in that order. So what's missing left here? We need a 2, 3, 4, 8. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Here we've got 4 and 8. Here we've already got a 2 and a 3, and it can't be in there. Let's have a look across. 8. Okay, so there's an 8 there, so we can resolve that pair. And there's a 3 here, so we can resolve that pair. Then that 2 lets us resolve this pair. What's missing in this row? 2 and an 8. Got an 8 here, so it's 8, 2 in that order. And then 9s. Well, we've got to have a 1 in there. There's a 1 missing, which would go here. What else are we missing in here? 2, 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is missing. Very good. There's a 4 here, so we can knock out both of those 4s, putting a 4 in this cell. 5 knocks that out, 6 there. And we've solved it. That for me is a fairly typical 3, where it's not too tricky, but there's just a hump or two that you get a few minutes in that you've got to overcome before you can progress, and then it all flows nicely. I hope you enjoyed solving this Sudoku along with me. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment or give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. I'll be posting a video like this almost every day. Otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.